What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? I'm back in Toronto. Took the red eye. Don't feel very good. But shit, man. But we're coming off a big winning day, an excellent day in Major League Baseball. 7-2, back-to-back real strong days. I'm pumped up. I'm thankful to be back in action. I'm lacking sleep. I smell like Kraken. I'm ready to get to work. Josh Witt, my man, for those of you who don't know, our friend Josh Witt back in the hospital. And first in our chat, you know, that guy, such a quality guy. And there are, you know, capping is our lives, but there are more important things. And we have a couple of our capper people that we care about very much in the hospital right now. And Josh, we're thinking of you, sending love, sending energy, sending healing energy. So I know it's a scary time right now. So if we could all just send Josh all the positivity possible, and we're going to get you healthy and out of the hospital. And we have another person very close to us, Bernie Ryan, Lucas Ryan's father, who we hope, you know, his heart's now functioning normally, which we want for Josh. And so Josh knows that you know, there is a you know, healing that can be done, and you're in the right place for it. And our guy Bernie Ryan is now expected to be released from hospital today. So our love to the Ryan family, and our love to the Josh Witt family. So thinking of you, Josh. Let's get all the positive energy to our friend Josh. Get him healthy, get him back home capping. And we are thinking of you, my friend. Justin McKelvey, stacks play today. Number one, Luis Arraez over 1.5 bases, and Spurs team total over 110.5. 2-0 in WNBA as well last night. 21-11 to start the year. Alan Alexander in the house says, not new here, but new to throwing up an occasional comment, says our friend Alex. Says, best of luck to you, Josh, moving forward. A gamma ray play today, going back to the well with the New York Knicks. Nuke Worker says, I don't care about the Sharps. I mean, I don't know if we'll have to go over and see if the, like, I'm on the Spurs, but I don't know if that's sharp. We'll have to go see if that is where the bigger bets reside. I don't know. But I can understand expecting the Knicks to continue to menace. I mean, I enjoyed, we had to break that game down pretty quickly yesterday, but I enjoyed where we went. Let's see what's going on right now. Yeah, I would say that the Sharps were on the Knicks at this point. In the line not moving, you have 58% of the cash on the Knicks, 57% of tickets on the Spurs. So I wouldn't be concerned. I would just trust where you're at. There is our guy Billy Friedrich says, but we zero the record and begin again today. Our friend Billy Friedrich here. Does that mean, Billy? Does that mean it's your birthday today? Don't we redo it on your birthday each year? Let me know. Let me know. Accelerate Entertainment says Giants Rays going to turn things. Christopher Ing in the house says Spurs need De'Aaron Fox, score more than 7 points, and says, are you ready for the Belmont Stakes? I am not ready for the Belmont Stakes. And there is Pig Milk. Pig Milk's also on the New York Knicks. Plus 6.5. Let's get this all copied and pasted here. And let me know if I put the cameras and everything together not this morning with lack of sleep. So, and the audio. Let me know if we got any audio or camera problems. Colin Gregory in the house. Yes, it is. He says, I need a birthday pick. Okay, there it is. Yes, it is. That means they're turning it over. Yes, Billy. A birthday pick for you, my friend. It is Billy Friedrich's birthday. What a guy he is. Great friend for a long time. And star of the Pig Milk play of the day. Danzo getting in a plus 310 on the Hurricanes live, and the Blue Jays plus 225. I love to see it. Danzo, Hino Ball, sick from the fall in the house. Let's get Hino Ball's action in. Michael L says, let's go Red Sox. There's Ronnie Lofton in the house, and there is our guy, Matty Ice, who cashed his big boy bet on the Montreal Alouettes in overtime. And as we speak, Jose has sent the website we used to use to Swiggy. Swiggy's never seen this website before, so he's trying to figure it out. We have 24 people. Not everybody commented their favorite CFL team. Some people were just commenting because they love to party. I don't know. But everybody who commented their favorite CFL team is going into the race, and there's only like 22 of you guys. So you're sitting here with a 5% chance at $100. $100 American. And shout out to our guy, Matty Ice. How about that? Taint cashed, and Taint played the day cashed. I was on it. One of my 7 of 9 winners. It's just a wonderful day. Taint in the house. Taint giving out $100 of his hard-earned cash. What a guy he is. Shout out to our guy, Matty Ice. We got Bruce Cotney in the house, Dougie Wise. So we're going to do the race at the very end, at the very, very end of the show. Ronnie Lofton there. It's our guy, Justin McKelvey. I only started 101 in CFL. I also had him first half, but hey, we were really pumped up about it cashing on last night's show. Kong's Clips ready to get to work. Jose Perez, triggered talk here. Great to see all of you guys. And Slat says CFL's back 3-0 to start the season. Al's money line. Al's Ticats over 15.5 and Al's and Ticats team total over 23.5 on the Stamps plus 1.5 minus 110 tonight. So it took me, I don't know if it was the booze, but it took me so long to get my MLB action figured out last night on the plane. It took me forever. But I have made 13 bets. All right. New Quirker, you're a good man and a good friend, and the race is heating up. The race is heating up between the New Quirker and Peter Loshak. They are battling. New Quirker and Peter Loshak. Who will win this year's NHL playoff pool? Who will receive the salty bonus from Harbor Acres Cottages? All coming down to it right now. An exciting Black Thor King Singer, Brady Singer over 3.5 Ks. How Brady Singer has fallen. God, the Royals were right. Ditching Brady Singer. DeJuan Turrentine, just my 2 cents in the house. Oh, 15 left the team name. The other comments were normal. That's a lot with more comments than we normally get. We'll take it. There's my man, True Teller in the house. Rod Zawacki ready to get to work. Okay, 15. Wow, you guys got a chance. This is a nice number, man. Only 15 people put in their favorite CFL team. And we will be racing. I would like to race. Now, again, if you can do this, because I know it's for someone side, I would like to race camels. We got to go back to racing camels. But it is Belmont week. We should probably race horses. Just miss those camels. You guys tell me. If you want camels or horses. DeJuan Turrentine, best bet is the Detroit Tigers. Feels like old times. 15-minute opening. We don't have time for this. Let me just copy and paste a couple more spots here. We're going to have to move very quickly. We're doing 4 minutes a game. Says Slatsy, says, happy birthday, Billy. Jarvis goal was your gift. That's a good point. That is a good point. So let me make sure I got this. It is Billy's birthday. Billy Friedrich's birthday. Our birthday picks have been running hot. I'd like to keep that going for my man, Billy Friedrich. Okay, I think I've got everything ready to rock. I think we're ready to move through the card. I'm kind of a mess. But, man, are we off 2 very strong days and need to keep it rolling. Let's get this all copied and pasted. Okay, Steve Fehrenbach says, what a game on the ice last night. We are set up for a great series now. Von Polo ready to get to work. New Quirker is with Slatsy on the Stamps. And I still haven't moved on that game. I kind of can pretty easily explain each side. Stamps for Nuke and Slatsy. Looking forward to see Patrick White out there today. Okay, great to see all of you guys. Let's roll. Light Cheese in the house. Great to see you. Colin Gregory. God, jeez. Got to learn my CFL from Texas. Can't tell you how many teams are in the CFL. Colin Gregory, that's a great part. Only 9 teams are in the CFL. It's pretty easy to roll. Andrew G says, waiting to pounce on the Stamps. Just waiting to see the chat. And so he likes that, liking the Stamps at home. Walla Walla Dose, thank you guys. Nice. Yeah, Black Thor King, that it was real nice. And that line moved against me. By the end of the Valkyries first quarter, I could have got plus 130 or more. I only got plus 115. I could have also got plus 1.5. So I guess if I look back at it, I made more money because I moved early. Because if I would have taken the +1.5 in a heartbeat. Super true story says no hangover, Jimmy. A Nuke worker, we had pretty clear, but we love you, Nuke. We pretty clear rules there. All you have to do is add, but we do love you very much. So if you put your comment in now and we get our guy Swiggy to throw your name in, that's all good. Okay, water. I'm going to do that a lot. Okay, thank you guys for joining us here. We have the Morning Bag, Pub Sports Radio. And we are here at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. I'm not actually worried about this show. All the work was done yesterday, and it took a long time. I'm worried about tonight's show. Worried about tonight's show, man. And Rod's White says, bet under the total Winnipeg Games is a road favorite of 7 points or less on this record since 2024, 8-1. Okay, let's get to work. 4 minutes a game. We start with Major League Baseball, 2:20 p.m. Eastern. San Francisco Giants, 24-38, 12-22 on the road. The Chicago Cubs, 32-30, 18-13 at home at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. Take a look at the weather. I have refreshed this. So let's take a look at the weather. Wrigley Field's plus 21% runs, plus 48% homers, minus 2% doubles and triples, and even singles. Now, I thought this game was going to go. Let's just take a look at the Chicago weather. At least last night, I was like, okay, I think this game is going to go. I know that it is red. So let's just take a quick look at when the rain is expected here at Wrigley. 12 p.m. light rain showers. Then it's fine. I mean, I think that we're fine. So I expect this game to go. I ended up betting this game, and I haven't even looked at the line moves since. So let's see. Okay, there's been no move towards the Cubs. Is this refreshed? Let me make sure this is all refreshed. Oh, no, there was a move. It's come back. Okay, so there was a move towards the Giants. A legit move, a big move. I must have known that. Plus 158 down to plus 136. Now they're right back at plus 158. So, line movement coming back. And I tell you, I agree with this move towards the San Francisco Giants. I really do. And what it was for me here in this game, and why I made two bets. Danzo says Giants would beat the Cubs 5 straight and 8 of last 10 head-to-head. So the biggest factor, I couldn't believe that, Slats. I was astonished when I saw the Dylan Larkin news. Astonished. We have Stacks play today in Luis Arise to get to Cabrera here in this one. Stacks play of the day, number one, is in business here. Shout out to our guy, Justin McKelvey. Stacks. So I made two bets on this game. This game became more and more appealing as, I was studying it. I spent quite a long time studying it. I would love to see the line differences here for full game in first 5. And I'll tell you exactly how I handled it. I'm just being selfish right now. Giants plus 154 full game at Penny, and first 5 plus 140. First 5 plus 140. Now I moved real early. And I was moving before now I can use Pinnacle. I'm back in Ontario, but I was using it before. And now it's plus 140 here. That's not very good. That's not a good sign. And then first 3, it's plus 130. So I screwed this up a little. I bet this on the plane. So I got the first 5 at plus 130 and the first 3 at plus 120. And I'll tell you the most important thing here. Yes, Robbie Ray is not being good this year. He's not being good, and he's coming off of a good start, but he's not being good, not to be trusted. And Chicago's bullpen is being fantastic. As you see from the graphics, Giants' bullpen has struggled. But for me here, the Cubs are hitting 200 with a 549 OPS versus lefties. The Cubs have the worst numbers versus lefties of any team in Major League Baseball right now. And I don't see why, despite this offensive weather, why Robbie Ray wouldn't be able to maybe keep them somewhat, in check, while the Giants are raking right now, 268, 782 OPS. So I moved on Giants first 3 and first 5. Take the bullpens out of it. Back Robbie Ray. Rod's White says, bet on Robbie Ray on the run line against NL Central teams. Ray's record since 2025, 7-0. Jam says can't trust either of these pitches. Matty I says Cubs money line today. I'm cutting this down to a short first 3 or first 5, and I'm taking the team that's hitting hard against a team that's not hitting at all. And if Robbie Ray's had some okay starts this year, I need him to have one here. So that is my action for game 1. Let's roll into game 2. Now, I have not moved in game 2 or 3. Colin Gregory says over or pass. Rod Zweig says Giants or pass. Let's roll into our second spot on the board. White Sox, Philadelphia Phillies, Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dougie Wise just took the Giants plus a half, minus 102. And Matty I says that energy from that comeback win last night will carry over to the afternoon spot while the Giants were traveling. See, I thought about that too, and what I thought about that, Matty Ice, is that you're probably right about Chicago's feeling good about themselves, but why wouldn't the Giants? They just beat the Brewers 2 straight games. They just put up 12 runs in the last game, and now they get to go to Wrigley Field. Playing a showcase game where Robbie Ray has a chance for some redemption on the year. Like I felt that that was a kind of a similar thing for both teams here. So let me just make sure. Okay, beautiful. Making sure all my chords are in. So let's roll. Anthony Kay is starting to pitch very well. He's starting to pitch very well, and you could say the same thing here with Jesus Luzardo. Now AM says wind blowing out. Robbie Ray fly ball profile says rest in peace. Well, you know what? Again, the Cubs are hitting 200 with a 549 OPS for his lefties last 30 days, and it's been horrible last 5 or 10 games. So maybe this is the right opportunity, but we'll see. Bruce Cotney is on the White Sox, and Anthony Kay, 3.77 ERA, 1.4 whip, pitching very well. We've seen him now pitch very well in like 5 straight starts. The last 2 starts have been impressive. They have come at home, but we saw him on the road in Seattle pitching well. That is a possible problem. 4 of his last 5 starts have come at home. So that here he is, on the road in Citizens Bank Park. When we go to Citizens Bank Park at Ballpark Pal, we have plus 10% runs, plus 23% homers, minus 2% doubles and triples, and even for singles. And I just couldn't get over. I want to back the White Sox against any lefty. Luzardo is pitching well right now. So is Anthony Kay, but I do think Luzardo maybe give you an advantage. 4.30 ERA, 1.31 whip, 3.16 xERA. You have both teams raking against lefties, especially the White Sox, 278 801, while the Phillies are lefties 243 762 OPS. Luzardo's last few starts have also been very strong. I mean, I couldn't really see the advantage other than maybe looking at it now, maybe backing the White Sox, in the first 5 plus a half or something like that. I don't know if I can get there though. We've had an 11-cent move towards Philadelphia. When we go to the price difference first 5 full game, I just feel like this is one of those games where you can give legitimate arguments for either side of the fence. The White Sox are plus 158 full game. First 5, they're plus 155. They're offering up the White Sox first 5 plus a half. If I had a free bet, maybe I'd look into that, but I think Luzardo's the real deal. The Phillies are hitting lefties. The White Sox are a big favorite, which makes the White Sox appealing, but Tone Miggins in the house. It's been a while since we've seen Tone. Nice to see you, man. Luzardo, 8 or more Ks at plus 205 and 9 or more at plus 400 for our guy Tone Miggins in the house. So, all right, White Sox, Phillies. I'm off. I've got 13 bets. I'm not sitting here reaching here. I felt similar with Seattle Mariners, Detroit Tigers. You got Wu versus Framber Valdez. Do we really trust Wu on the road? And Framber Valdez, is much negative stuff that has been said about him this year. 4.39 ERA, 1.32 up, 4.43 xERA. Look, he's taking the ball every 5 days, and he's out there battling, almost going 7 innings in all these starts. Last 3 starts all gone 6 2/3. Last 2 starts he's allowed 4 runs on each. The Mariners aren't hitting lefties. The Tigers aren't hitting righties. The advantage would be in the Mariners bullpen. And, this line's moved towards Valdez from plus 113 to plus 106. I mean, look at how bad the Tigers bullpen has been of late. I mean, the huge advantage now with the Mariners bullpen. This total opened up at 7 juice to the over. Now it's a 7.5 juice to the over. Dougie Wise, great to see you, Andrew G. Dougie Wise just moved on the Tigers plus 100. Yeah, this just didn't appeal to me. Comerica Park minus 3% runs, minus 9% homers, minus 7% doubles and triples, and plus 8% singles. And looking at price difference, would that get us, towards either Valdez or Wu? I know that Wu, Seattle Mariners first 5 is being a great bet since, Wu's come into the league when Wu's pitching. The Mariners are minus 118 full game. First 5 are minus 125, so there's a 7-cent difference. They're still saying that there's an advantage. Denzo says, be careful, Seattle hits Framber. So, yeah, with it all said and done, I could lean towards backing Wu. We went over his road starts of late, not being very good. 4 runs over 4 2/3 at the Royals. Last out, May 24th. At the Astros, that was a pretty good start. 2 runs over 6 innings, May 12th. And then I'm missing that May 18th start, but that's a home start. And then we were doing that last night. April 25th, so his third to last road start. 11-9 win at the Cardinals. He allowed 7 runs over 3 innings. And the way that would it shock you here if Framber pitched okay at home? AM saying Mariners snapped win streak. Matty Ice says a crazy captain is kind of what he does. Said this is a Tiger spot. Who's going to be very interested in that Cal Poly game that starts at noon. His focus and routine will be a little off today. Oh, that's a very interesting way of looking at it. The Cal Poly alum. I'm off. I'm off. Let's roll on. This was action that I thought I would probably move on before we got here today that I haven't. And AM says that he will be on the Tigers here. Oh, man. Okay. Got to stay focused here. Starting to feel a little better. Matty Guy says it's angles and info for him, and Josh Witt wishing Billy Friedrich a happy birthday. Okay, let's roll on to the next spot on the board. Next spot on the board is Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees. And I wanted Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray went on the 15-day IL on April 21st due to right hamstring strain. Since he's come off the IL, he's been lights out. Maybe a little reset, a little break on with the arm. You have a Red Sox bullpen pitching very well, and the Yankees bullpen, struggling of late. The Red Sox are hitting lefties hard. Last 30 days, 297, 818 OPS, while the Yankees aren't hitting righties hard at all, 222, 690 OPS. You put it all together, and I want Sonny Gray over Ryan Weathers. Now, I am a Ryan Weathers, believer. I like his changeup. I like what he's done. There's been a lot of times where we've wanted to fade Ryan Weathers in his young career. He's much so. So first off, the 7.5's gone to 8. It's slightly juiced to the over, so we have a half run move towards the over. And then on the money line here, it's not moved. I mean, we watched that 10-cent move early towards the Yankees, and then I guess it came back last night. I didn't realize it had come back, and then so overall, it came back and then bounced back again towards the Yankees. So it's a 10-cent move towards the Yankees. Very interested to see what the difference is on first 5s. If there is an advantage here with Sonny Gray over Weathers. I still want – and let's look at the cash flow here. Let me pull up the cash flow as well. So the Yankees minus 140, but let's focus on Red Sox. Red Sox plus 129 full game. First 5 plus 119. They're certainly not giving us much of an advantage. Andrew G says no Judge. That huge bat is gone. Yeah, Judge out for a long time, it looks like. Let's take a look at the cash flow. I mean, are we in a situation where the Yankees are very public? No, it's Boston. 68% of tickets and 76% of cash. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to bet this anymore. I'm going to take a look at it after the show. And Yankee Stadium today, Yankee Stadium plus 2% runs, plus 12% homers, minus 12% doubles and triples, minus 1% singles. Let's roll on to the next one on the board. I thought I was just going to solidify my interest, and that didn't happen. I want to back Trey Savage here, and it's no fade of Brandon Young. Line's not moving towards the Blue Jays. Opened up minus 145, sitting here at minus 145. We'll take a look at the difference first 5 in full game because I would want to just focus on your Savage. We have a total here of 8, a 5-cent move to the over. If you look at both bullpens, both have been struggling, but the Orioles looks terrible. This Orioles bullpen looks terrible. Justin McKelvey moving on the over 8.5 here. Dougie Wise close to betting the Orioles. Von Polo moving on the Orioles here. So, and Matty Ice says Goldschmidt 1-23 off Gray. Goldschmidt under a half run for Matty Ice. Let's take a look at price difference here. I would like to see a nice big price difference for this one. So we have the Blue Jays at minus 143 here at Penny. And first 5, the Blue Jays are minus 155. Minus 143, minus 155. So you can get the Jays first 5 minus a half, minus 108. But the Sticks would have to get, that's what you said, Savage just pitched against the Orioles in his last start. He walked 7 batters. It was not a good start. Yeah, that Bill, I was thinking about that Howden for Conn Smythe, man. Man, and that scoring on Sam Ben last year was monstrous, Billy. Rob, I don't have nothing's really. I find it a difficult game still. I'll work on it more after the game, but all of our guys right now are on Calgary. We'll talk about it here shortly, but I've not moved on it at this point. Dougie White just moved on the Orioles here. Sure, we can talk about you Savage just facing this team, but so did Brandon Young. And who was angry after the start was you Savage. You Savage, location problems, walk 7 batters. Now he's the one who gets to come home in this event. I think you Savage has the advantage over Brandon Young and seeing the lineup a second time. Rod Swag says, bet on Baltimore on the run line after 9 consecutive games versus division rivals. Baltimore record since 2024, 8-0. Dougie Wise, as I said, just moved on the Orioles. Von Polo on Pete Alonso for a home run. Rod Zwacky on Baltimore on the run line. Well, I will sit with this for longer. Also, the roof's going to be open. It's a beautiful day, it appears, in Toronto. And let's just go to what that will do with the roof open here at the Rogers Center. Plus 5% runs, plus 23% homers, minus 9% doubles and triples, and plus 1% singles. Okay, I'm going to need more time on this, but I'm very interested in Jay's first 5 minus a half, but none of this is really solidified too much. Let's roll on. Rays Marlins is our next spot on the board. Rays Marlins. And, I told you guys I'm sitting here with 13 bets, but the early part of this card I did find pretty tricky. And I sat with it for hours on the airplane, going over it. I want to back Drew Rasmussen here. I always want to back Drew Rasmussen. And it's a pretty interesting situation for the Marlins with Tyler Phillips. They have the opener. And the opener, I believe, is it still here, sorry. Just make sure that I have the right plan that we went over for last night. I just think there's a lot of unknown. Tyler Phillips might be an okay pitcher. 1.63 ERA, 1.27 whips, got a 3.58 xERA. His last 2 starts, he's gone into games. Like the last start, May 30th, 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 Ks, 1 walk. It was 6-1 loss at the Mets. But the Rays are hitting righties hard, and that's a difference here. Then we have bullpens that are both seemingly falling apart. It's somewhat easier to trust this Marlins bullpen at the over the last little while. And JC Lead says the Orioles have a 24-6 record in games when they scored at least 5 runs. Will Baltimore score 5 runs tonight? You know what, JC? I do think with the roof open, there's that possibility. I just think your Savage is a beast. Wine Tam says the Marlins should be bet. Thank you, Andrew G. Yeah, we're loving it. We're loving what Swiggy's doing on the 1s and 2s, man. Okay, well, let's take a look at this line history here for this one. Great to see Wine Time Sports in the house. Let's go over this one. So Here we go. Where's the Marlins game? Sorry, I'm moving a little. Oh, there we go. So this opened up 7.5 juice to the over. It's still 7.5 juice to the over. You can get an 8. It's basically not moved. There had been a move to the under initially, but that went away pretty quickly. And then on the money line here, we have an 11-cent move towards the Rays. I mean, I think that's we were talking about this last night. I mean, the Marlins have a better home record than the Rays have a road record. And Colin Gregory says, fade Gusto, make money. I don't know how long Gusto's going to be in there as well. And I don't know what he's going to give us moving forward, because there was times with the Astros last year before he was traded to the Marlins looked terrible, where he looked like he has a good young pitcher. Let's take a look at the price difference for first 5 and full game, because I think this is a decent sized favorite for the Rays. I really believe in Rasmussen. He's coming off the first bad start we've seen him have seemingly all season long. I guess he had a bad start April 18th as well. But he's been so good this year. So good last year. 3.36 ERA, 1.02 whip. So let's just take a look at the price difference for the Rays. Rays are minus 128 full game, and first 5 minus 135. I mean, I'm with you, Robert Franklin, and Colin Gregory. The first 5 minus a half is sort of what I was looking at. I mean, this certainly doesn't feel like a slam dunk or something like that. And Colin Gregory says, Astros fan here. I think he's trash. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to need more time on these spots. That none of them have really turned into slam dunks after talking them over with you guys. All right. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. I have bet this. I'm on the Atlanta Braves on the -1 line. Unfortunately, I am fading Helen Mitch Keller, and I'm very interested to see what these lines are. But first off, let's shout out Helen Mitch Keller, the great Helen Mitch Keller, in all of her glory on the mound. I've always backed Helen Mitch Keller, believed in her, especially at home, not as much on the road. And I'm also a Martin Perez believer here. I would like to see this line. Hopefully this line is moved in my favor. Let's see what's going on. It hasn't. Just sitting here, -141. Not moving at all. This one opened up -138. It moved a cent. That was the big move at 9:17 a.m. towards the Braves. From a total standpoint here, we have a 7-cent move towards the under. I would love to see if there's any difference first 5. I certainly don't want to double up. I think it would just give me a little bit more confidence. And don't know why Penny. Oh, here we go. So Tampa Bay Rays, and here we go. The Rays are mine. Oh, the Braves tripping, man. God. Here we go. So the Braves are -139 here at Pinnacle, and first 5. Just -139. And Kong says it's officially Phil Steele season. College football kickoff in 85 days. So, where are the advantages? We were talking about what the Pirates are doing with their sticks. Well, they're not doing it against left-handed pitching. Oh, and then we got the Pig Milk UFC in the house. Faris Zayam. Copied and pasted, Billy. Let me see if I can get this here under Nuke Worker and Slatsy's action on the Stampeders. Is that right, Justin? And the shotgun play of the day is in. The shotgun play of the day is in. Kong is also on that Billy Friedrich look. The shotgun play of the day is in. With the Yankees yesterday, the shotgun play of the day, undefeated since we have changed the name of it. Shotgun play of the day is in. It's the Seattle Mariners. Shotgun play of the day for Mr. Ronnie Crawford. Matty I says you're on the right side. Says Olsen and Acuna versus Keller, 14 for 31, 451. Braves off a loss to him back home. Chop it up. Says Matty Ice. Chop it up. So, Yeah, I mean, let's see. Is it a public spot? The line's not moving at all. There's no advantage, seemingly first five or to full game. And let's get a look at the cash flow and see if they could. And it's public. 86% of the ticket, 76% of cash. There's certainly no reason for me to sit back and be, real confident. The market is not really helping me, but I do think there are advantages. I like Martin Perez. I like that the Pirates aren't hitting lefties. I love the bullpen advantage that I have. So, all right, let's roll on. Next spot on the board is another bet that I have made. So, you guys know that I don't know if you call it a vow. I don't know what the hell you call it, a pledge. But that Jose and I discussed before last season that there would be no more first five unders being bet. That the ROI that I had on them just wasn't strong enough, and that it was not helping my bankroll, and that I should stick to the first three, and I was losing too many first five unders in the bottom of the fifth. I think it's a little extreme to just shut them off. There's certain times when I see a line, and I'm pretty sure that there is an advantage on the first five, and this was one of them. So I've moved on the first three under 2 in Cleveland, Texas, and I've moved on the first five under 4 at minus 117. This is my first five under of the season. And there was another one earlier where it was similar to this, where I wanted to move on the first five under, and I didn't, just because of this stigma that I put on these first five unders. And I don't think it needs to be that extreme. I don't want to bet them. I want to bet first three unders. Look at these bullpen issues here from both squads over the last little while. They're bullpens that we believe in. And then when we were capping this game yesterday, Mark Staszowski was like, whatever you do, because we saw this line move towards Parker Messick, who's a Bulldog, and the Guardians. I'm a big Kumar Rocker believer. He said that it has to be first five because Cleveland's bullpen is so taxed. And Cleveland's bullpen is exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. Oh, I still have it up here. Let me just go over to the Guardians. I mean, they're so. Oh, I guess it doesn't look that bad. Because they gave Gaddis and Holderman the day off. Only Hewer went yesterday. Hewer and Festa. Because Hunter Gaddis and Holderman had gone back-to-back days, and so had Heron. Maybe I was a little too fast to be concerned about the bullpen being taxed. And JC saying Smith is fresh for tonight. Look, I'm a real believer in both of these pitchers. Parker Messick is just an absolute bulldog on the mound, easily one of the best young pitchers in the league, and I think Kumar Rocker is capable of getting there. He's 3 of his last 4 starts for Kumar Rocker have been spectacular. He had a bad start at home versus the Astros. But then he bounced back very well in his last start versus the Royals, not allowing a run over 6 innings. Now you have your 3rd consecutive home start. We have this is his 5th home start of his last 6 opportunities. So he's in his rhythm. He should be in his comfort zone. I think I was maybe a little too quick to react about the bullpen being taxed. And that was a little too. I'm not going to sit here now and triple up. The whole plan was to back Parker Messick and to back Kumar Rocker, and that's what I've done. So let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have a 7.5. It's not moved. Open minus 112 to the over. Now it's minus 113 to the over. And then on the money line here, we have that big move has come back a few cents. I mean, this was an immediate move. This opened up at minus 115 and not immediate, but hour 30 minutes later, it's minus 125. And 3.5 hours after that, it's minus 135. It's come back 5 cents to minus 130. Yeah, maybe I was just too judgmental of these bullpens being taxed and pitching poorly over the last little while. But I'm okay with my action. So it's first 3 under, first 5 under. Ron, I have not done that we have Slatsy and Nuke on the stamps. I've not moved on the game yet. I found it very difficult thus far. In fact, that under is somewhat appealing. now that I've sat with it for a little while. Rod Zwack had a nice angle as to why the under would work, especially after everybody seeing. So it will, but yeah, I'm not on it yet. All right, let's roll on to the next spot on the board. Athletics, Astros, and we have the Rays for our guy Dougie Wise. Rays first 5. Athletics, Astros, and so unless anything's changed, let me just go to RotoWire before I talk about this. So it's Perkins. Yeah, it will be Perkins, and they're just gonna say that Jack Perkins gonna cook here. So his longest appearance. Perkins 5.46 ERA, 1.21 whips, got a 3.14 xERA. Only allowed 1 home run over 28 innings. Only walked 7 batters and struck out 33 over 20. He's got some nice stats. His longest appearance was 4 2/3 and 63 pitches. His second longest appearance was 2 1/3 and 44 pitches. He usually throws between 20 and 30 pitches. So, we're going to see this A's bullpen that's been okay of late. And Josh Wood saying the Rangers roof closed, which should help the under. I hope so. And Ron says he's only on Edmonton. Oh, we were on the Alouettes, Ronnie. But I hear that. Energy saying Winnipeg is no offensive coordinator, and the offense might take a bit to get going. Yeah. And Thomas Maggio screaming Marlins. Justin McKelvey is the Astros in his pocket. These bullpens have both struggled of late. The Astros bullpen had seemingly got things together there for a little bit, but I just, Peter Lambert has, ticked up his velocity to 96, 97, and he's pitching better. These last few starts, he seems much, much more hittable. They're not bad starts. Sunday, May 17th was 5 earned runs over 6 innings at home versus the Rangers. And then May 24th at Wrigley, 3 earned runs in 5 innings, 4 walks. And then this last start at home versus the Brewers, 2 earned runs over 5 innings. Now he's got the consecutive home starts, but I don't know. I just felt like there was a lot of volatility in this spot. And I don't know who's going to be pitching after Perkins because, this bullpen's going to be tapped. And let's take a look at the line history here. We've seen very little movement. A 3-cent move towards the Astros, minus 101 to minus 104. I mean, the real question is, with the sample size of games that have been played so far, we're talking 63 games for the Astros. I mean, the Astros are 3 games under 500 at home. The A's are 5 games over 500 on the road, which we would claim explains this opening line. That doesn't really make sense. I mean, it feels like they're just opening up their arms and asking for Astros money. But again, they are 3 games under 500 at home. Being an 8-cent move to the under, it's a tricky spot. Jose Barrett is also liking that first 3 under. I'd love to hear it, Jose. So I've not moved on that one. Let's roll on. Next spot on the board here is Royals, Minnesota Twins. Royals, Twinkies. And I thought, so I guess I still haven't moved on the over in this one. There was lines were all over the map for this over. What is it now? Yeah, I should have just moved on it. It felt like Pinnacle. Let me just go over to Pinnacle and what Pinnacle had done on this game. Here, I was in when I was. No, it shouldn't. I didn't. When I was on the airplane, I felt like if I could have just waited to get off the plane and use my Pinnacle account, that I would get a better line. I want the over in this game. I'm just curious to see if it is a very public over here. It seems like we're getting no information on Waka and Zebby Matthews. And this isn't a fade of Waka or really Zebby Matthews. And you guys know 1 out of every 10 or less totals for me isn't over. But I like this over quite a bit. I think that, this is around the time of year where I wonder if Waka starts dealing with arm fatigue, but he's pitching well. I mean, there's no reason to want to attack him, really. And the last road start of the Cardinals, he was fine. 3 earned runs over 6 innings. He had a bit of a hiccup at the end of April. He allowed 6 earned runs on Wednesday, April 22nd, and Wednesday, April 29th. He also did. As you can see, you have 2 bullpens that are pitching. Well, the Royals bullpen had a nice series, but they've been very questionable. Bruce Cotton, says the Twins bullpen hurt him bad last night. And then Zebby Matthews, look, we backed Zebby Matthews in that first start, but it was just because the market really told us to. He struggled at AAA St. Paul this year. He had a chance to make the opening day rotation. He didn't earn a spot. He didn't pitch last year in 16 big league starts. So the fact that he got this season off to a good start once he came up on May 14th, I didn't put that much onus on it, and now he's getting touched. Neither team's hitting righties very hard right now. Both bullpens are questionable. Let's go over to Ballpark Pal for the weather expectation at target. Plus 5% runs, plus 2% homers, plus 3% doubles and triples, plus 3% singles. I just think it's a low enough total to get over. So I thought I might have a better number if I just waited, and it was, I don't think that was necessary. I had the minus 105 sitting there for me, but I'm going to move on this over in Kansas City, Minnesota as soon as the show's over. So I will be adding Royals, Twins over. Let's roll on to our next spot on the board. Reds, Cardinals. God, Brady Singer's beat bad, and Leahy is starting to deliver. Robert Franklin also saying the over 8.5, 9-1 to the over last 10 for the Minnesota Twins. So this is another spot I'm moved on, and I could add to. I've got sorry, Danzo. Now 4 games. Yeah, I didn't update that after the game last night. So I'm on the St. Louis Cardinals -1 at plus 107. And I would like to add possibly to the first 5 and have more on it. This total has moved to the under. There's 12-cent move to the under. Opened up juice to the over 9 minus 117. Now it's the under 9 at minus 115. And when we get to the money line here for this spot, wow, minus 145 now. Now we're talking. Wow, that's a big move. 948 this morning. I got my -1 with the minus 133 involved, so I got a plus 107 on it. And Troy Torrance says Cardinals equals CLV grab play of the day. I like it. He got the Cardinals minus 130. Absolutely beautiful. I moved on this last night. The Reds bullpen's been a real problem this year. I know the Cardinals bullpen didn't look so good last few days, but it's over the season's been much, much better. And I like Leahy. 4.25 ERA, 1.56 whip. He's struggled at times this year, but if you look at his last 5 starts, or even his last 6, but let's go his last 5 starts, he has only allowed more than 1 earned run in one of them, and he got hit in that start. And it was against these Reds. So, there's fair to have some concern. Maybe I should just stick on the full game because Brady Singer, they gave him a reset. He's been so bad. They gave him a reset, so he would have started against the Reds. But they gave him a week off between May 17th and May 30th because he's just getting hit. And then he came back Saturday, May 30th at home, and he allowed 3 runs over 5 innings. It wasn't bad. I don't know. Well, let's see if Pinnacle is telling me that I should add the first 5. Because I guess the idea that Leahy just faced this opposition and Singer, had his start skipped, that probably benefits Brady Singer. Here we go. Let's just see if there's difference. So the full game, Cardinals minus 137 a penny, minus 136 first 5. Yeah, I don't feel like I need to add the first 5. I don't need to. I may, though. I don't need to double down. I don't think that's necessary. All right, let's roll on to the next spot on the board. Brewers Rockies here. And look, Brandon Sproat is a young pitcher with a very high ceiling. But Brandon Sproat has been taking it in the throat, and now he's in the thin air of Colorado. And I want to... It's not... Okay, so look, Brandon Sproat's not pitching well. The Rockies bullpen's an atrocity. Just horrible, as you can see from the graphics. Brewers bullpen has been strong all season long. Brewers coming off 2 straight losses. 12-9 yesterday, and 1-0 against Logan Webb the day before. And Brandon Sproat's been bad. And is this really where he's going to turn it around in the thin air of Colorado? Ryan Feltner is a pitcher that I've always believed in. He went on the IL with a right, it's basically tricep tightness. I'm not going to use the medical terms, like I know what the hell I'm talking about. And he came back to the rotation for his last start. And Ryan Feltner didn't want a rehab assignment. He said he didn't need one. It's a very confident thing for him to do. He's like, look, I'm fine. Like, get me back in the rotation. I'm going to deliver right away. And they sent him to AA Hartford and they shut it, And so he started with AA Hartford, then he went to AAA Albuquerque for just 2 starts. and he looked really good. And then he came in and just delivered immediately. Oh, okay, the scrolling banner says Miami. Really? Okay, sorry. I will. I don't think because I didn't move on the game. It shouldn't. So let me know if you see the Marlins money line. Thank you, Kelly, because I have not moved. I want the Rays, and I haven't moved on the Marlins. Sorry, I haven't moved on the Rays yet, and So let me know if we see it, because that's not part of my action. I will be keeping an eye out for it now. Thank you, Swiggy. So back to business here, though. Feltner said, "I don't need the rehab. I'm your guy," and then he delivered immediately. I just find it so difficult to believe that Sproat's going to turn his season around in the thin air of Colorado. When we go to Ballpark Pal here, Coors Fields plus 28% runs, plus 25% homers, plus 16% doubles and triples, and plus 16% singles. Yeah, I do like the Rays. I haven't seen anywhere that says I'm on the Marlins, so I will keep an eye out for it. Here, I moved on the Rockies, first 3 and first 5. Take the bullpens out of it. Cut the game down as short as possible. Challenge Sproat with Feltner. Feltner with consecutive home starts. The Brewers are a professional ball club. 259, 728 OPS, last 30 versus righties. Oh yeah, Miami Marlins first 5. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. So yeah, Swiggy will take that off. Thank you. That's very, very important. That should not be there. What is Oh, that's New York Mets first 5. Yeah, New York. So that should be. That's all. That's all. So yeah, Swiggy, switch that Marlins, because Marlins. I got the Mets first 5 at plus 111. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. That's very important. Okay, so but back to business here. I'm on the Rockies first 3 and first 5, and again, I didn't wait for Pinnacle's first 5. I imagine that could hurt me. Let's find out right now what that first 5 is at Rockies for the Rockies. They're plus 135 here for the full game. And then first 5 plus 122. It didn't hurt me at all. That's exactly what I got. Okay, that's a good sign. Let's see what it is here at 365. I'm also on the first 3. I guess we don't really have time. We got to keep moving, but I'm on the first 3 as well. I'm on the Rockies first 3 plus 115, first 5 plus 122. I wonder if I liked first 5 plus a halves a lot, but I chose not. I bypassed them with the Giants first 5. I took the plus 130. With the Rockies first 5, I took the plus 122. And again, with the Mets first 5, which we're about to talk about here. So a double down spot for me on the Rockies. First 3, first 5, challenging Sproat to drink it. Let's roll on. The next spot on the board here, 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Well, this is the heavy investing game. This is the game where I heavily invested. In yesterday's game where I did something similar, the totals took care of business. It was the Chase Burns start, but the Reds lost the first 5 in the full game, so I went Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. Check. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. It should be back here. It wasn't happening when I was in Victoria, but now it's happening. Annoying. I gotta get this fixed. Okay, so back to what I was saying was that I'm a Christian Scott believer. I think that it's well within the realm of possibilities that he is the ace of the staff once we got closer to the end of the year. Bullpen wise, look, Padres bullpen's been bad the last 5 games. They've been excellent all year long. I don't think we need to do anything. Raul in the house, great to see you, OG. And Padres bullpen just, I think, should be trusted. Mets bullpen's been pitching very well. Neither of these teams are hitting at all. I don't know what to do with Michael King's last 2 starts. They've been bad. We got our guy Philly Eagle Flyers tied after 2 innings. Sorry, let me get this all copied and pasted here. But I have bullpens I can trust, and I just wanted to back the Mets, as you guys know. First 3 and first 5. I just wanted to back Christian Scott. But I think it's well within the realm of possibilities that this is a great opportunity for Michael King to bounce back. He's been a phenomenal pitcher all year long, and then he has these 2 bad starts. The first start at home versus the A's, they get to him 4 runs over 3 2/3. And then we're looking for the bounce back spot, and he doesn't really get it at the Nationals. Nationals, on the road, tough team to pitch. Now he goes up against a Mets team that's hitting 231, 683 OPS versus righties. We also have him back home, where he delivers. We have minus 9% runs, marine layer in effect, minus 1% homers, minus 16% doubles, triples, and minus 6% singles. And so I moved on 4 different bets in this baseball game. And let me just go up to my top of my action here so I can read them off here for you. But I moved on the Mets first 3 plus 105, first 5 plus 111, the first 3 under 2 at minus 102, and the full game under 7.5 at minus 118. It was a heavy game for me. We've seen this line go from plus 127 to plus 114 for the Mets. I love to see that. And then from a total standpoint, show me a flat 7. That's what I would like to see. That's not. Oh, as well. Now the under 7.5 is minus 128. I see 7s. They aren't flat, though. The 7s are juiced to the over. I like this spot quite a bit. Obviously, I've bet a lot into it. So let's take a look at the line or the difference, I should say, price difference here between the Mets full game and first 5. And I got a plus 111 on the first 5. It's plus 112 full game over a penny and just plus 111 first 5. Okay. Bookie Buster play of the day is in. It is the Braves. And AM saying, I don't know how you could lay juice with the Padres right now. Perfect timing here for me to add that here to the action. Put that right under the shotgun play of the day. Okay, so big investment for me there. Mets and unders. I backing Scott, expecting the sticks to stay quiet, liking the bullpens, thinking that Michael King could bounce back. But will he bounce back at a level that can outpitch Scott? With all those questions put in, unders and the Mets early for me, first 3 and first 5. All right, let's roll on. The next spot on the board here for us is the Nationals Diamondbacks. Foster Griffin and Merle Kelly going up against it. And I was interested in a few different spots here. The only thing I moved on was the over. I'm on the over 9 in this one. But Matty Ice says, Jimmy, you smell that? I'm guessing. I'll take a guess what I think this is going to smell like, Matty Ice. I'll take a guess. That's what I think this is going to smell like. I think this is going to smell like this. Tell me it's taint, Maddie. Tell me it's taint, Maddie. Tell me it's taint. I'm on the over here in this one. Foster Griffin, the lefty, going up against Merle Kelly. The Diamondbacks are raking lefties, 278, 802 OPS over the last 30. The Diamondbacks bullpen's been very good as well, as was on that graphic. But here, raking lefties. Look at that. I mean, it's just climbing. Now they're just destroying them. And the Nationals, I have still hitting righties pretty hard over the last 30 days because they still have power, 791 OPS. So Nats bullpen's been a problem. Diamondbacks bullpen's been very good. And the taint play of the day is the Nats team total over. Says Kelly's been bad at home. Give me all 9 innings of the Nats bats. And this gas can drive my ass to the bank, says Matty Ice. Taint play of the day is in. The Nats team total over. I like the over, so it fits in with me. There's the Sweaty Butcher in the house. What up, Sweaty Butcher? Taint play of the day is in. Hino Ball says, glad Jimmy didn't get kicked off the plane for yelling taint. Yeah, man. Cashed that first 3 and full game under with ease. It's lucky I wasn't flying when the Alouettes won in overtime and my bottle of Kraken rolling around. Shout out to our guy, Matty Ice. Taint is in. Nats team total over 3.5. Fresh off cashing all week. And there, yes, you did, Deacon. Absolutely. And I don't see why more home runs wouldn't be hit today in Wrigley. What is the weather like too? I'd love because I think it's going to be fine. The game's going to go, but it is in red here. So now, should I add the Nats team total over? I mean, it correlates perfectly with my move on the over. You guys know I'm not someone who bets overs, and so it's music to my ears. This has moved to the under, though. It did move initially to the over. Went from 8.5 to 9. This 9 was a pick'em last night, 6:55 p.m. Since 6:55 p.m., it's moved 6 cents to the under. I guess it kept moving to the over. I didn't realize that. We just had to move a 13-cent move to the under a couple hours ago, hour and a half ago, but it had moved again to the over. I like the spot here. And Troy Torrance said, very humid. The ball will be flying. So, you were talking about the home run prop with the Wrigley Field. But here, yes, the roof will be closed in Arizona. We'd prefer it to be open, but it's hot right now. Hot. And Deacon takes a late start here for that one. So I'm looking forward to that game. Really looking forward to that game. All right, so I'm on the over here in this one. Let's talk about the last spot on the board, Angels, Dodgers. When you bet first three under, first full game under in the Dodgers game, you're never comfortable. Shout out to Ricky Levine in the house from beautiful Lake Shasta. He's on the over 8 in the Angels game. Thank you for sharing that with us. And Andrew G says game might be delayed. Check the weather map. Will be rain around the start time. So Ricky Levine, let's copy and paste. Papa Ricky's action from Lake Shasta, man. It's a nice life. Richly deserved. Let me get your action copied and pasted. Please put your best bets here in the chat. Let me, here we go. Move this here. And Josh Witt says Dodgers team total over and Dodgers money line parlay. AM says Angels appealing here. This is a price he can get behind. So we have a nice pitching opportunity here for us. Reed Detmers, I mean, what are we? 2 starts back. He has 14 strikeouts over 8 innings and 2-1 win at home versus the Rangers. I told you guys that there was a few of these Japanese pitchers that had struggled early in the year. I guess Tang doesn't really count. I guess it was just Amai and Roki Sasaki, who I thought that we had value on, that we're going to just get better and better as they went on. Stimmy OG says big on the over first 5 and full game of that Nats. Okay, I love it. And Raul says can't wait for NFL. Not too long from now. We got touchdown Troy in the chat too. Robert Franklin says Marte homer. So Roki Sasaki is starting to pitch really well. And I do think that we're getting value every time he hits the mound because of his very rough start. 4.59 ERA, 1.35 whip, 4.59 xERA as well. And then Reed Detmers is, 4.63 ERA, 1.18 whip. He's got a 2.92 xERA. We don't see that big of a difference quite often, especially in the positive way. Dodgers bullpen coming off a tough series. Angels bullpen pitching better. I certainly do not trust the Angels bullpen, but pitching better. Dodgers bullpen I would trust. Dodgers are not hitting lefties that hard. 257.49 OPS. Angels is righties 247.01 OPS. Take a look at the weather expectation here at Dodger Stadium. Minus 2% runs, plus 21% homers, minus 8% doubles and triples, and minus 7% singles. And then when we go into the line history, we've had a big move to the under. Wow. 9 minus 115 to the under, down to an 8. That's a big move to the under. I got the bag there yesterday. I'm hesitant to go back to the well. Detmers at plus 172. You have to think with their poor bullpen and, the Dodgers not destroying lefties that there would be quite a price difference on the first 5. Let's find out here and then put a bow on Major League Baseball here for Friday, June 5th. Sorry, taking a second. Oh, here we go. So the Angels are plus 175 full game. First 5 plus 155. That's a hell of a difference. So you get them plus a half at plus 104. Shout out to Scott in the house. Says can't wait. And then AM says Roki looked like an AC in the Angels team 2 weeks ago, May 17th. So I guess this is 3 weeks ago. I think we'd call it there. Because sometimes they go with the 7 days in between starts for some of these Dodger pitchers. But he sure did. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 10-1 win. That was at the Angels. I like that energy. I want the heat, man. I want the heat. That's true, Deacon. It is hot. It's nice. Finally, man. So I think I could get there. Let's take a look. Is this a very public spot on the Dodgers? Scott took the Angels first 5 money line and plus a half. How? Oh, we don't even know yet. And they've got undecided here. But we're pretty sure it's gonna be Detmers. I could get there. The first 3 and first 5 unders weren't available last night when I was on the plane. Now this full game total has gone from 9 to 8.5. It's strange. You can still get an under 4.5 though in this game. I'm a little surprised at that. Huh. Let's just see what the first 3 under price would be here for Sasaki, Roki versus Detmers. And then we'll put a bow on the proceedings. So here we go. There's still not a pitcher listed at these books here for the Angels. I don't know why that would be. Aren't we pretty sure that it's Detmers? First 3 under is just minus 120. Like that's higher than it should be. You know, I'm gonna need more time with this one. I'm gonna need more time with the Angels. I'm not gonna sit here and hem and haw. I cashed with the unders yesterday in Arizona, LA. It's always nerve-wracking betting a Dodgers under. Nate Cerna on the Dodgers here. All right, let's review all action here in Major League Baseball. Again, we are doing our race for $100 for those cappers that were with me on the late night show and then left their favorite CFL team in the chat, as our guy Matty Ice cashed a big boy bet with the Alouettes, and he is giving out graciously $100 to a low bagger here. So in MLB here, we'll go over all the specialty plays of the day at the end of the show. But for me, in Major League Baseball, San Francisco first 3 plus 120, first 5 at plus 130. You can get better than at both for both of those lines. But now I'm back. Now I can use Penny. I'm start getting nicer lines again. Atlanta -1 at plus 104. And then Papa Ricky says my book just took the Angels game off the board. So it must be Detmers isn't pitching. I mean, that's just, but we'll wait. Cleveland, Texas, first 3 under 2, minus 102. Cleveland, Texas, first 5 under 4, minus 117. That's my first 5 under of the year. St. Louis -1 at plus 107. Colorado first 3 at plus 115. Colorado first 5 at plus 122. New York Mets first 3 at plus 105. First 5 at plus 111. New York Mets, San Diego first 3 under 2 at minus 102. And under 7.5, minus 118. Washington, Arizona over 9. I think I've got it, Billy. I think I've got it. I want to just cap a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure that I've got it. I know what it would be if it was in MLB. I don't know if it'll be in MLB. Okay, let's move on to our next spot on the board. We're going to have to move pretty quickly here. Got the daily sesh popping off right after this. And I need to start working on tomorrow's card and maybe try and get a little bit of sleep after the red eye back to Toronto. So let's roll here. Now, NBA Finals Game 2, we had to move really, really quickly here when we were discussing this last night. That is a nice idea, Deacon Mike. Yeah, I need one of those huge books, maybe a pipe with tobacco in it. Not a glass pipe full of rocks, but like, like an old school pipe with tobacco in it. A sweater, a giant book of statistics. And here we go. Knicks, Spurs, Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Texas. I didn't get to break down all of what we wanted to talk about here. I just talked about why I had made the decisions that I had made. And let's take a look at the line history first. I've made 2 bets in this game. And I sat for a long time with it because, well, first off, let's say there's been a 3-cent move towards the Spurs from -6 to -6, minus 110 to -6, minus 113. I saw some 5.5s. We've seen 6.5s. It's a tiny bit closer to 6.5 than it is to 5.5 at this point. And then from a total side of things here, we have a 216. This one opened up at 214.5. When we get to the cash flow, I'd be very interested to see this. We have 57% of the tickets on the Spurs, 56% of cash on the Knicks, 73% of tickets on the over, and 70% of cash on the under. You can still get a 5.5 at DraftKings, juiced obviously towards the Knicks. You get 6.5 FanDuel, 6.5 at Superbook, 6.5 BetMGM, You get a 6 juice towards the Spurs at Circa. Stacks play today. Stacks is team total over 110.5 minus 117. Scott's saying Knicks shouldn't be 7-point dogs. And Raul saying that Knicks plus 6.5 is a gift. I'm with Kong here. But I'd like to talk a little bit. I'd like to set a table here. First off, from the X's and O's. I talked about before the series started, being very concerned about my Spurs future. And I should have bet more than 2K on the Knicks plus 1.5 games. But that's what's done is done. There's a huge difference between Shea and Brunson. And Shea's easier for the one-man zone and Wemby at the top of the key to defend because Shea doesn't want to play at the perimeter. And he does on the perimeter, I guess, but not behind the three-point line. So Brunson does. So that's a problem. Then we talked about the statistical anomalies. You know, you have the Spurs being the best defensive rebounding team in the NBA, but they get destroyed on the glass by the Knicks because Wemby's up top, and then they have smaller guards on Cat, and then James Hart's just, you know, out rebounding Wemby. What a bulldog Hart is. So there were some problems here. You know, we talked about the efficiency the Knicks had against the Spurs, 125 points per 100 possessions. Only the Nuggets scored more efficiently against the Spurs, and we know what the Nuggets did to the Spurs over and over again. So we knew there were problems here. And then I was saying, well, you know, Mitch and Pop should be able to figure it out, right? Mitch and Pop should be able to figure it out. And so they didn't. But what I couldn't get past was that, you know, Wemby said, you know, I just played bad. It's my fault. I won't, you know, basically saying, look, it's simple. I just played bad. And the more I looked into it, yes, there are some advantages that the Knicks have with their X's and O's compared to, let's say, the Thunder. But that game, I think, will be an outlier for the Spurs shooting wise. I just don't. I find it so hard to believe that you know, 36% from the field and 26% from threes is what we're going to get from the Spurs. And we've seen the Spurs all through the season and all through the playoffs. They shoot much better than that. And so I kept with this idea that Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, Vassell, and Stephon Castle, they combined to go 4 for 24 from three. And this game was up for grabs with 30 seconds left. And, you know, the Knicks, now they have a ton of heart and ton of character, and it's a special time to be a Knicks fan. And you have the connections to their last championship, or at least last time they went to the Eastern final, or excuse me, last time they went into the NBA final against the Spurs. And, you know, we have, you know, Rick Brunson on that team, and then Jalen here. Now it's just a special time, but I think it's impossible for them not to think we did our job. We got the one win in San Antonio. I think the Spurs win this game comfortably. I don't think it means they're going to win the series or anything like that. The message has been sent by the Knicks, and I expect the Spurs to perform much better here. So I moved on the Spurs -6 and -110, and I moved on the Spurs double result at -125. I really, I look, and the Cappers are concerned about De'Aaron Fox. You know, they should be. You know, 3 of 13 from the field, and he's got to defend Brunson better. Wemby was not very good, 6 of 21 from the field. I expect him to be better. And am I trying to catch a falling knife fading the Knicks? And if you were to say that, that's an absolutely fair comment. But I think the winning streak ends here. I cannot wait to watch the game. So it's pretty simple for me. I think this is going to be Spurs almost smash and grab. You know, and if for those of y'all, and Raul was saying, I respect y'all betting the Spurs after embarrassment loss at home. Yeah. Nate Turner said 12 games in a row. I think that's fair. Yeah, I mean, you know, Raul, that's the time I most want to back a team in basketball. So, you know, also, if you believe in any of the hijinks that goes on, you think the NBA wants this to be a short-ass series? Do you think the NBA wants it to be 2-0 going back to New York? Nah, man. This series is going to be long. And Sweaty Butch said Knicks money line plus 200 strictly riding the streak play. I've not. Is anybody other than Kong and I on the Spurs? I don't mind that situation when everybody's on the other side. So I truly think you're gonna if the Spurs shoot 40% from three in their last game, they win that game by 10 points plus. So we'll see how it banks out. I'm excited. Doubling up on the Spurs. Double result minus 125 and the Spurs minus 6 and minus 110. Let's talk Bombers Stampeders here. We have the Bombers coming off a really bad season. We just don't see it often. We don't see them not in the Grey Cup. And I don't know what you're going to get out of Caleros. Mike O'Shea's at Caleros combination, something that's banked. And Caleros was perennially getting 4,000 yards a season through the air, and Tim White will help. And we talked about them signing Jarrell Broxton, and that will help a lot on the offensive line. They got Brady Oliveira. Look, they're a really good football team, but a lot of it is vividness here. And Willie Jefferson on the defensive line. I mean, he's such a leader. Look, Dickinson changed a lot. Vernon Adams coming in changed everything for the Stamps, and Stamps were really good at home last year, 6-3 home. The Bombers struggled on the road. We have everybody here on the Stamps, and I'm hesitant to join everybody. And Sick from the Fall says he's on the Spurs and he's a diehard Knicks fan. I like it. He no ball using first quarter, first half of wine time says Spurs smash. Mark A, Spurs first quarter and full game minus 6. Oh, and he tailed double result. I like it. Stephen Fehrenbach said both teams had open shots all night. I'm interested in the over. Can't shoot worse. And I feel that. I get that. Andrew G says the Stamps are missing 2 key defensive linemen for week 1. I find it nuts. Brady Oliveira is around minus 105 to score a touchdown. Yeah, I could get to the Bombers. I don't know why I was so confident on the Alouettes. Obviously, it was very lucky and fortunate. Not lucky, but fortunate to get that home. I think the fact that they've been sitting here with the Stamps at plus money and not moving it is a surprise. And it makes why on earth would the Bombers be at this number and it not moving? And then from a total standpoint, we have a 48. We just saw a very high-scoring game last night. I kind of lean towards the under. And I'm starting to lean towards the Bombers. F. Donahue says, yes, more CFL looks. Back-to-back double-digit ROI seasons. And of course, it's all single-unit plays on, what goes on in the industry. So I'm hopeful that we can run it back. Nuke Worker on the Stamps. And Rod's White says, bet on Dave Dickinson as a home underdog. Dickinson's record is coach of Calgary, 13-3. Why would he be a home underdog? Why would the Stamps be a dog here? Is that not puzzling? Why they would give everybody the opportunity to back the Stamps at home at this number? It just, I'm starting to move towards the Bombers. I'll put everything out on X and in the Discord, but and of course Reggie Beggleton, he's on the IL to start the year, so it's Brissett, Tevin Jones, and Jalen Philpott that have got to step up for Vernon Adams. And look, Dedrick Mills was excellent last year, and something just doesn't feel right. Nugor says they think Caleros is still good. I mean, Nuka, I get that thought process here, but I think he had one bad year where he dealt with a ton of injuries. If you want to talk about, for instance, I thought Bo Levi Mitchell was done, and he had more than one bad year. Would it shock you if Caleros looked very strong here. So Mark A saying Stamps 4-1 against the spread, beat the Bombers 3 in a row. Exactly, Mark. And yet they're giving it to you at plus money. I'm going to need more time on the game. Let's get into the WNBA here and then put a bow on our festivities. We have Connecticut Sun, Chicago Sky, Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois. And I like this spot a lot. I've not looked at the line history at all. We cashed both our bets WNBA last night, so we're 21-11 in the WNBA. This is now a 6.5 or a 6. If you guys were rocking with me last night, you'd be on the Connecticut Sun plus 7.5. This line is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. That Chicago Sky could possibly be this big of a favorite. I think this is an inefficient market, and that's why we've had such success going up against these line moves here. This time we're going up against an opening line that doesn't make any sense. You know, Blake came back for the Connecticut Sun. Ever since Rickea Jackson got hurt, the Chicago Sky looks atrocious. It's just way too many points. Now, the problem is, you know, you have to have the Connecticut Sun now in the fourth quarter of a basketball game where they wilt. And I don't mean Chamberlain banging 20,000 chicks. I mean, they play terribly. My voice just broke thinking of 20,000 chicks. So, look, Connecticut Sun for me plus 7.5. I think this is just absolutely ludicrous to think that Chicago Sky. I mean, couldn't you round up some girls at your home basketball court to take on the Chicago Sky right now? So I'm on the Connecticut Sun. I think on the next spot on the board here. Now, obviously, I embarrassed myself thinking that Kelsey Plum was going to stay out. I had no return date. You know, there's no return date in sight, and then she practices yesterday, and she's going to play today. So you have Kelsey Plum coming back, and everybody losing their mind, and the line moving way too far. I think the Dallas Wings have to be bet, and they, you know, look. I've got the -5 like a schmuck, and I'm not going to beat myself up for that. I'm going to try to beat these lines, and I'm going to get it early. And I was wrong. I was wrong. But I think this would be the birthday point. I think this is the birthday play for Billy Friedrich, is the Dallas Wings. You fade the star player returning. Kelsey Plum was playing at an elite level. You know, we watch her at times not be elite. You know, we watch her miss a ton of shots. She was playing as well as I've ever seen her play, basically. She put up 38 in that win in Vegas. And I don't know if she's going to be able to conjure up that magic immediately. And we fade the team with their star player coming back. I'm right with you, Sick from the Fall. I'm right with you. So, but I'm not going to bet it again. I'll just, you know, play the fool and have this 5. But I think it's the bet here. So let's just see what the money line is for Billy Friedrich. The Dallas Wings -125 money line is the birthday bet. Fading the Sparks with their star player coming back. Luce Fox, yeah, I'm in rough shape, man. I'm in rough shape. I hope so. But it sounds like an episode I would watch. Final spot on the board is Phoenix Mercury, Portland Fire here. Take a look at the line history for this one. We have, from a money line standpoint, 5 gone from -125 to -146, a 21-cent move towards them. On the point spread, they've gone from +1.5 to -2.5. They've gone from dog to favorite. Phoenix is now the dog here. And then on this total, we have 164.5 dropping down to 161. And, you know, it's clearly Portland's more than the sum of their parts. And the Mercury are just, you know, not doing enough here. I don't know. I don't think they're nearly as bad as this 3-8 and 2-4 record tells us. And I did lose on the Mercury -5.5 at Seattle to start this trip. And you're getting Portland Fire off getting beaten up against the Valkyries. You know, last time we saw them at home, they took out Indiana, the Fever, and we backed the Fever last night easily against the Dream. And they had lost by 20 in that game prior. I mean, they're telling us here simply that we should be moving on the Portland Fire. And maybe we should listen. I just, Mercury were embarrassed. Then they get on the road trip. They lose by 34. They get on the road trip. They beat the Storm by 4. And I'm just hesitant to sell them so short. But maybe we should be back in the Portland Fire here at home. Maybe the Fire should be added. There were AM saying he liked the Mercury. Luchace Fox saying the Mercury are frauds last night. And also Rod Zweig saying bet against Los Angeles when playing with 2 days rest. LA's record since 2025 season 2-13 against the spread. Rashid Bruce saying Phoenix missing their best 2 players. I still feel like they can handle things here. And Kalia Copper, Alyssa Thomas, they're both game time decisions. Let's move in here. I just think this game will need more time for me. Let's just go to the best injury reports that we can find. They pale in comparison to the injury reports we find for the NBA. Let's go over to Phoenix here. And Clea Copper game time decision. Analyst Thomas game time decision. And here, one more thing I want to check for the Mercs is, Mac went for 16 in that last one. Alyssa Thomas played in that last game, and Clea Copper played. So they're fine. They're back and they're fine. They're just bad. That's all. They're just bad. So I'm hesitant to sell the Mercury as short as everybody else is. Maybe I should stick with that, but the market is sure blatantly telling us that the Fire should be bet. So we'll see. I think, though, the Dallas Wings are the bet here. Rod Zwacky backing it. Bet against LA with the 2 days rest, and then bet on home teams on the versus the money line. A good offensive team against an average offensive team after a loss by 10 points or more since 2022 says Portland is the play. Yeah, I'm going to spend a little more time on it. But I think that the birthday pick is Dallas Wings moneyline minus 125. That is our show for today. I wasn't really worried. I knew I'd be like feeling terrible and lacking sleep for the morning show, but I was more worried about this night show. The amount of work it takes to cap this card to cap any card, as you guys know, is intense. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us, man. Our thoughts are with our friend Josh Witt. Love you, Josh. Matty Ice says, let's go racing. Let's do it. $100 on the line. Thank you to our friend Matty Ice here. And look at these camels. They're gorgeous. They are gorgeous. Thank you to everybody who commented on our YouTube video with their favorite CFL team. $100 American from the great Matty Ice. Love it. And thank you, Maddie. A 1 minute race here for 100 American. Thank you to all who support us here at Pub Sports Radio and support the morning and nightly bag. All right, Swiggy, let's race. Let's race. We are off and racing. The camels are flying. A lot of speed from these camels early. 4.62 for life. There's Colin Gregory making a power move. OG Bobby Johnson. What a good-looking camel. UNLV 94 trying to get that long neck in front. What a race early. Rod Zwacky. We got Kobe Williams moving forwardly. Let's go. 1-1-1 also in the mix. And Josh Witt powering through in UNLV. Now, look at low-key productions. Oh, it's all coming in. Justin McKelvey making a late move, as with Jerry Davis. Still, we reached the halfway mark, and it's anybody's race. There is the nuke worker, Luchace Fox, Josh Witt, Colin Gregory, Justin McKelvey, UNLV 94. Oh, gee, Bobby Johnson. Here we go. We are in the stretch here. Justin McKelvey's camel trying to get to the wire. Last 10 seconds. Can Justin McKelvey's camel hold on? He's trying to hold on. Is his neck long enough? Is his neck long enough? And it is Colin Gregory flying from late. What a gorgeous camel. Colin Gregory. Ball saying, Jesus Christ, push. Colin Gregory getting $100 here. Low key, tight, man. That was a good race. That was a good race there. Oh, Rem. Yeah, are you not there, Rem? Come on. Did we miss out on Rem? No, Rem. No, Rem. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't put it together. It was very close. It was a great race. Rem, I apologize. Well, Rem, you will have to get free entry into our whatever next race we have. Let me put this here. Rem Most will get in any next race we have. Rem Most will get free entry into it. Congratulations to Colin Gregory. Colin Gregory, hit us up. pubsportsradio@gmail.com or jimmythebag@hotmail.com, whatever works for you, or hit me on X. We'll get it figured out. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Slaughter says, let's do another one. Okay, how about this? Okay, so then for the night show tonight. How about this? Okay, for the night show tonight. Okay, so how about this? In the United States says, where's his camel? Okay, we're gonna do another one, another $100 race tonight, but you have to on our YouTube, please make up a name for a CFL football team. Any city you want. Can't be a real team. Any city in Canada, any town in Canada, make up a name for a possible CFL team. Canadian football team. Any city in Canada, any name. Maybe we'll give a bonus if it's a very funny name. We'll figure that out. So for the late show, we have $100. $100. Jeff is going to put up $100 for our Friday night late show for another camel race. So all you have to do is go into our chat and then give us a name, a fictional Canadian football team name. That's our show for today. We got the daily set. The Providence. I don't know if we have Providence American City, man. The Pookie Punches is nice though. See the Red Deer Taint Sniffers. See Red Most. He's got it. He's got it in the comments after the show. The Windsor Wing. See David Doris. You got it. So put it into the YouTube chat because it also helps our. The algorithm. So a fictional Canadian football team name in our chat. And thank you guys so much. We're coming off back-to-back real strong days. Let's keep this going, man. Let's keep this going. Shout out to all the cappers rocking with us. Let's quickly go over specialty plays of the day. Justin McKelvey, stacks play of the day number one. Luis Arise over 1.5 bases. Also, our thoughts are with Josh Witt. Josh Witt, heel up, man. Heel up. The Muck Mouth. See, Graham's got it. The Cold Lake Loonies. See, you guys got this, man. You guys got this. And our love to you, Josh Witt. Also, wonderful news about Bernie Ryan coming home from the hospital. You will be next coming home, Josh, my friend. And happy birthday to the great Billy Friedrich. And Billy Friedrich, the pig milk play of the day. The Halifax Methods. Look at that, Nuke. See, exactly. Happy birthday, Billy Friedrich. It is the Dallas Wings money line. Justin McKelvey, Luis Rise over 1.5 bases, and Spurs team total over 110.5. Gamma Ray play today, Knicks plus 6.5. Billy Friedrich, Pig Milk play today, Knicks plus 6.5. He no ball, Tigers money line, Marlins money line, Rangers money line. Black Thor King on Singer over 3.5 Ks. DeJuan Turrentine, Detroit Tigers best bet of the day. Flank Steak play today, the Knicks money line. The Stamps are being backed by the Nuke Worker and Slatsy. Pig Milk UFC is Ferris Ziam by KO, TKO, or disqualification plus 230. Shotgun play today is the Seattle Mariners. Bookie Buster play today from DC Cappers, the Atlanta Braves. The Taint play today is the Nats team, total over 3.5. See, look at that. The Saskatchewan Screamers. You got this. You got this, man. All right, so put the fictional Canadian football team name in our chat, and we will race again for $100. I'll have all this Pub Sports Radio. Thank you guys so much for your support. Let's go out there and keep rolling, man. Wednesday and Thursday were big days. We need more of them. And also daily sesh popping off in 20 minutes. See the Pickering Pigeons. You guys got this. Leche. Hey, los bookmakers. Milk that shit.
It's easier to sleep in the black. When you're losing your ass and feeling so, you know what to do. Tune in to Pub Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Debbie and the fam, Dutch wine time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.